I'd like to expand a little on the product gallery I have as an example in my book Magic PHP. Now the product catalog I show in my book is a, let me just find it, is basically on its default page it displays a list of product names, and if you click one of the products you'll get to see some more details about that product. It's not a lot, it's very simple, there isn't even a picture. There is a name, a price and a description of the product. There's also a search bar where I can search products by name. Anyway, what I wanted to do was try and refactor this product gallery to an OOP solution, to an object-oriented solution. And I'd like to take the same approach I use for using OOP for the blog in the last chapters of my book. Now, this is a nice little application for it because it's so simple that I hope it'll be really easy to understand what's going on because of the simplicity of the project. Anyway, this product gallery really is built around one table in my database, one single table that holds, in this case, no more than 4 products, each with a product ID, a name, with details and a price. So once again, it is a very simple table here. It's a very simple project. Throughout the application, throughout the website, I'll be using data from this table in many places, and I'll be using individual rows of data in many places also. One row of data really represents, obviously, one product. Now, because I'll be needing single products in many places, and I'll need to get access to the entire table throughout my system, I'd like to propose 2 classes for making objects. One class to model one product, and one class to model the entire table. Let's begin with the product class. I'm going to call it product. It should model one product. So it's a class that should have properties for product ID, name, details and price. Let me switch on over to NetBeans and create a folder for my class definition. I'm going to call the folder models, and inside it I'll create a PHP class. Let's call it product with uppercase P .class.php. Now, by calling the file .class.php, it is very clear to me that what I'm looking at is a class definition. Using this class, I know I will want to be able to get a product's ID, its name, its details, and its price. So I'm going to prepare those functions or methods. What was it? ID, name, details, and price. So whenever I call the function ID, I'd like to get back the ID of this particular product, this product ID. And whenever I call name, I'd like to get back name. When I call details, I'd like to get the details. When I call price, surprisingly, I'd like to get price. So you could say that this is my my interface for this class here. These are the methods or function, if you like, that I'll be using throughout my system. I use these functions to return the data I want to use. However, I need these properties to have some values. So, to get that, I'm gonna create a constructor function that is a function that will run by default whenever a new object is created with this class here. And when it is created, I'll accept one row of data as parameter, and one row of data, that'll be one result set from this table. I don't know which one, but it'll be one result set. And I know that I'm going to want to get values, or rather set values, for product ID, name, price, and what was the last? Details. Oh, I should have copied this as well. So for the product ID, I'm going to look inside the row of data received here, and I'm going to look under the key product ID. This key here corresponds to that column name in my database table. So for name, I'm going to look for name because that's what I've called this column, name. And I've got details and price. Price, details. So this is the product class in its entirety. It's basically a model or a representation, a PHP representation of one row of data from my database table. So take a look again. It is a PHP representation of one row of data from this table. I'd like to test if I've made any mistakes. I may have made some spelling error somewhere, I don't know yet, but I'd like to test it. So in my source files folder, I create a new PHP file that I call test product.php, and I'm going to want to use that to test my product class. So first of all, I'm going to include libs magic 1.5.php framework, and I'm going to include the models product.class.php, and I'm going to create a new database connection with a variable named db. So a new database, and the name will be web shop. That's what I called my database on my localhost. The username, in my case, is root. The password on my localhost is empty, it's not set. And I'd like to connect. Right. So in order to get one row of data out of my table, I'm going to create an SQL statement here. Select everything from the table called product. And in order to run this SQL, by the MySQL database system. I'm going to get a result back, and the result equals a call to get data from the database using this SQL statement. What I get back is a result set. So I get back an entire table, really. I don't need an entire table, I just need one row of data to have one product. Let's call that one row. One row, I get one row from my result, and I simply take the first row present. So right now I can go and create a variable product that holds a new product object, and I can pass it my one row on instantiation, and I hope this will work out. Just to test it, I'm going to echo out product. I'm going to echo out the name, for example. Let's save that. It's called testproduct.php. So let's go to testproduct.php, and I'd like to see a name. Flatwing sand eel. That should be the name of my first product, and it is. Now I'm guessing the other method works as well, but let me just test. It was ID, it was details, and it was price. Save and refresh, and there we have it. Flatwing sand eel with an ID of 1. Details is exceedingly productive variant of the classic striper pattern, and the price is $19.95. Excellent! I have now created a new product class and tested that it works. I'm ready to implement this into my existing product gallery. I'll do that in my next video. Thanks for following.